Hello everyone. Today I wanted to speak on why early intervention is so important and vital for little ones with autism and how it helps them be more successful later on in life. So I want you to imagine you're a little one. It's your first time in a school setting, you're in preschool, and you're nonverbal. You have yet to be diagnosed with autism, but that's coming on later down the road. You're at home, mom's running late. She doesn't have time to feed you breakfast, but she has every intention of letting teacher know when you get to school that you are hungry, you didn't get a chance to eat, you might need a snack. But you get to school, mom is still very flustered, she's late for work, and she lets teacher know some other things that happened that morning with you, but she forgets to let her know that you didn't eat. Mom leaves, and you start to cry. Teacher thinks that you're crying because you miss mom and you want to go home. But that's not the case. Teacher tries to cheer you up. She brings you a toy, and you know that toy is not why you are crying. You are hungry. And so you take that toy, and because you have no other way to communicate, you're nonverbal, you throw it to let teacher know, no, that is not what I want. And now teacher has known you for a little bit, and she knows you have no words, but in her mind, a lot of these behaviors, you tend to throw things when it's not what you want, are because you're being not necessarily a bad kid, but you're disruptive. But really, you have no other way to communicate. You don't know how to let teacher know other than throwing something that it's not what you want or not what you need. And instead, you and teacher are both just frustrated because you have no way to communicate with one another. This is one of the reasons why early intervention is so important, because with early intervention, the earlier you get diagnosed and your developmental delays are discovered, the sooner a plan can be made to help you figure out how to get caught back up on those goals. The National Institute of Child Health and Human Development states that research shows that early diagnosis of and intervention for autism are more likely to have major long-term positive effects on symptoms and later skills. So the earlier they get help, the better it's going to be for the child in the long run. So one of the main points I have for why early intervention is so important is that it can help children reach developmental milestones early on. They originally might be behind, but when they get early on support, they can sooner catch up on those delays and be more successful in the classroom, like be able to learn how to function. They can learn other forms of communicating. They can learn how to regulate their emotions sooner, which it prepares them for school and a lot of other things in life. So, early intervention they can get help sooner from speech therapists, behavior specialists, occupational therapists, all those other therapies that are out there, and this can help them with physical delays they have, help them with thinking, communication, social and emotional skills, which are often skills that young children with autism deal with. Another big reason early intervention is so important is because your brain development is very flexible early on in life. So at the age of 2 or 3 years old, this is a time where your brain is still forming, meaning it's more plastic or changeable than other ages. Because the brain has more plasticity, treatments or therapy have a better chance of becoming effective long term, meaning you're like a sponge when you're 2 or 3, and you're gonna be able to take in information, and learn how to function before you develop other habits. The older you get, it gets harder to break those habits and break your way of thinking that you were taught, early on. So the sooner that you get those supports, the sooner you're going to be able to know how to communicate and function in the classroom. So this means that children with delays can still have a chance to reach their full potential. The CDC, stated that the connection in a baby's brain are most adaptable in the first 3 years of life. These connections that are also called neural circuits are the foundation for learning, behavior, and health. Over time, these connections become harder to change. So once again, the older you get, the harder it is to break your way of thinking. So getting that help early on is just really vital to being sure that those with autism or anybody with developmental delays, they can become more successful in life later on. Also, it's very important because it can help provide support for families. You know what I mean? Early intervention, like when the sooner a child gets early intervention, the sooner they get in touch with therapists and things like that. And these therapists can also help parents, give parents the tools they need to help their child become more successful, and also give them resources, for help in many different areas, what help for the parents. Early intervention can help parents make connections with other parents with children with disabilities so that they have, an emotional support that they need and they can better understand what their child is dealing with. So overall, early intervention is so important because it can help children get the support they need early on, get them diagnosed early, and give them the tools they need to be successful. Thank you.